What's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. DMZ missions are where it's at, and today we are looking at a mission called Intelligence Control, which is for the Legion faction in DMZ. This mission tasks you with having 5 UAV towers up at the same time, aka controlling 5 UAV towers simultaneously, and this is one of the first missions that is literally impossible to do solo, hence the change of my standard title and my thumbnail. So for this you will need to lean on some buddies, whether they are randoms or people that you invite into the game with you, but the bottom line is you will need more than one person. I even think this might not be possible with 2, so you most likely need to go for a full team of 3 with some coordination to be able to accomplish this. I'll share some tips and tricks as to how you can sort of strategize and how you can deploy to get all 5 of these done, and hopefully we can get it done easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now, speaking of teammates, first and foremost I want to give the boys over at Babylon my thanks. The 2 of them helped me finish this mission, and although at the beginning we struggled a little bit as we were putting the strategy together, once we had all the kinks worked out, we were able to do this relatively easily. Now, I am including their channel in the description below in this video as well. Go ahead and check them out. They stream and they create variety content like myself, and I'm really appreciative for their help in this video, as well as just getting this actual task done. Alrighty, so 5 UAV towers at the same time. First and foremost, these UAV towers don't always spawn in the same place from match to match, and so generally I can't tell you definitively this is the area in the map that you should be targeting, but for me, the 3 times that we tried this until we accomplished it, all those times the bottom area here around Al Saman Cemetery seemed to be best suited for what we were trying to do. Now, what you want is you want 5 or 6 if you can of these towers relatively closely clustered to one another. The main point to remember here is that from the point of capturing a UAV tower to you losing control of it, you have exactly 2 minutes. That is 2 minutes of capture time that the tower belongs to you, as long as nobody comes around and fucks with it and captures it. Now, the strategy that worked for us, and the one that I would advise you to employ, is to essentially pick one of these 5 towers as your central launch point, the place where you deploy from. This most likely makes sense to make it the more difficult one of the 5 to capture, and this one you approach as a full team of 3 to kill out any enemies that are around there and essentially establish your control of that place. Now, one of your team of 3 is going to remain behind with this UAV tower and capture it every time as it comes off of cooldown. At the same time, they will have to control this tower, and their job will be relatively difficult because they could be assaulted by enemy reinforcements in the AI variety, but they also can be pushed by players who will usually look at areas where UAV towers are captured and sometimes come investigate because they either want the kills or anything like that. Now, the other 2 players at this point in time will split off in opposite directions, one heading for 2 towers that are closely next to one another, and the third guy doing the same with the remaining 2 towers. Now, in our particular configuration and the one that we ended up finishing it on, this is what the map looked like, with the tower that was being controlled by the original player where we arrived, all 3 of us at the beginning, sitting over here at Said Mall, and then the 2 towers to the south at Al Saman Cemetery and Sawal Village being the target for the second team member, and the last team member, which in this case was me, targeting the Sarif Bay one as well as the Akhdar Village. Now, make no mistake, this shit will be difficult because the point is you are splitting up. These areas oftentimes have elites that protect them. At the very least, in my case, I actually ran into an issue, I believe it was in Sarif Bay, where there was a HVT target quite close by, and as you know, that comes with an entourage of elites as well. But the bottom line is you are going to have to move fast, move decisively, and capture those towers. One other last piece of advice that I'll leave you with before I let you go, and this kind of should go without saying, but you absolutely need to be using vehicles for this, of course. 2 minutes seems like a long time, and in some cases where the distance between the 2 towers might seem very short, that you could easily jog it in this time, what you have to keep in mind is that you can easily get pinned down by AI, and none of this works if you die on the way to the last UAV tower and you don't capture it, meaning you'll have to start all over again or potentially scrub the entire mission. Either which way, I hope this strategy works for you, and good luck. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it this far. Let me know in the comments down below if you need any further assistance with this mission, if I can offer any further insight. Basically, I do feel that this is one of those situations that you might not pull it off on the first or the second time. Like I said, there's kind of like a rhythm that you have to settle into, and you almost certainly have to end up with the perfect configuration of 5 or 6 of these UAV towers together in the right places so that it makes the mission a little bit easier. Nonetheless, if I could do this, you surely can. So get yourself some buddies like I did and get it done. Again, thank you, and it's just super important to me that you have a fantastic morning, afternoon, and evening wherever you are in the world. And until next video, fucking cheers.
They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me.